Well, welcome everyone to another Florida Friday Facts. This week we'll actually be covering 2 weeks worth of Florida Friday Facts. As you all know, we had a long weekend, and so I took a long weekend and therefore was not able to post the video for the September the 3rd in a timely manner, and so I will be addressing those here. And so I'm going to sort of just quickly go through both of the Friday Facts. I'm not going to break them down one versus the other on this list, but you'll know once I go through it which one is from which week. In any case, we're going to have some staff announcement for Florida AIA. The SAP or a Safety Assessment Program Volunteering Opportunity, a Florida Trust Award, some CE and HSW hours coming up, a DEP Appointee, NCARB feature. So there's a new feature from NCARB. There's also an ICC update. They have some news about the ICC, not necessarily the council itself, but they've put something out. Hot Topics is a ongoing sort of updating on that. Just a quick reminders on that. There's also a Florida Historical Commission appointee. We'll also be going over some webinars opportunity. The July ABIs, and that's the Architectural Billing Index. The numbers have been put out. There's also an AIA Representative Opportunity, and we'll go a little bit into that. It's for AIA National, actually. So you'll be representing Florida at the national level. Then the film challenge. I believe, just really quickly here, votings are open, but I'll get into that a little bit there once I get to that point. As well as 2022 AIA Housing Awards and King Tides. Without further ado, we'll go over the typical disclaimers, and then we'll jump into the content. And so, once again, some of the information I am presenting is from a personal point of view, and it may not completely line up with AIA Florida's stance or any other entity that may appear within the video. I will make an effort to make sure that it's clear when I'm expressing personal opinions. Also, businesses I mention within the video does not mean an endorsement, nor am I getting paid to promote them. I am just sharing the information that I see to you all. And so we start with the amazing Becky Magdaleno. She has been named EVP CEO of AIA Florida. And I'll go through the email and what it says about her, even though one email is not quite enough time or space to say great things about her. Becky Magdaleno, CAE, AIA Florida Chief of Operations, is the new Executive Vice President and CEO of the association. Magdaleno follows in the footsteps of EVP CEO Vicky L. Long, CAE, Honorary AIA, who is retiring October 1st after 17 years in the helm of AIA Florida. And I quote, "Even after a national search, we found the best candidate right here at home. We are fortunate to be able to have a continuity of leadership in the AIA Florida pipeline," end quote, said Ignacio Reyes, AIA, the current president, who led the search committee that chose Magdaleno. And another quote, we are just as fortunate to have had the leadership of Vicky for so many years. It is because of her that AIA Florida is as successful and stable as it is today. And we thank her for her service to the profession," end quote. A little bit about Becky Magdaleno. She has been with AIA Florida since 2011. During her time with the association, she has served in transformational executive roles at the local, state, and national levels. She has received the AIA Council of Architectural Component Executives Emerging Leader Award in 2015 and was president of CACE in 2019. She also served on the AIA Strategic Council that year and on the AIA National Board of Directors in 2020. Magdaleno is a graduate of Florida State University, where she was inducted into Phi Beta Kappa and the Senior Hall of Fame. She lives in Tallahassee with her husband, David, and daughter, Sophia. And a quote from Becky: "I look forward to working with Becky." Sorry about that. A quote from incoming AIA Florida President, Lourdes Solera: "I look forward to working with Becky and the rest of the AIA Florida staff through a seamless transition that will allow us to hit the ground running next year. With her in charge, our association won't miss a beat." Once again, I'd like to congratulate Becky, and I know that we are in good hands. AIA Louisiana asks for list of SAP volunteers. AIA Louisiana has not yet been asked to perform building safety assessment in the wake of Hurricane Ida earlier this week. But in case it is asked and in-state resources are not sufficient to the task, AIA Louisiana is collecting a list of qualified and interested individuals to perform assessments. The volunteers must be licensed to practice in Louisiana and be certified Safety Assessment Program evaluators. If you happen to meet those two qualifications, once you follow this link here or the ones provided in the description below, you'll be taken to a very simple surveymonkey.com survey where you can fill out the information. I'm sure your name and information will be logged into the list, and you will be reached out if it becomes necessary. Building Eden wins Florida Trust Award. Rocco, CEO, FAIA, and Joanna Lombard, AIA, won an Outstanding Achievement Award from the Florida Trust for Historic Preservation for their book, Building Eden. The book examines the formation and development of Miami-Dade's heritage parks and the people who shaped them. AIA Florida Committee brings quality CE hours. AIA's Florida Professional Development Committee is the engine that drives the annual convention, as well as the hundreds of continuing education hours offered by your association throughout the year. Members of this committee cover a wide area of architectural practice. They suggest and recruit speakers, continuing education hours ideas, and identify trends in the industry. If you or your firm has a specific continuing education need or idea, please reach out to the group's staff liaison, Wendy Johnson. I recommend any members that want to learn something that is valuable, that you think you personally would benefit from. Others people might feel the same, so I'd encourage you all to reach out to Wendy Johnson, and even better if you have somebody specific in mind, but at the very least if you have a particular request. DeSantis appoints Hamilton as DEP Secretary. Emil D. Sean Hamilton is the new Secretary of the Florida Department of Environmental Protection. He has been interim secretary since June. Hamilton has been at the DEP for 13 years, previously serving as Deputy Secretary of Lands and Recreation, overseeing Florida's 12 million acres of public lands. He's an Air Force veteran with 20 years of service, including the Iraq and Operation Enduring Freedom. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about him and the article, following the link there will take you to the floridagov.com website, where there is an article about this that goes quite a bit of length. In any case, you're welcome to read it at your leisure. NCARB releases new exam features. NCARB released a new calculator within the ARE software. It includes an enhanced interface, a history feature that will log calculations, and an improved memory that can store multiple values at the same time. New whiteboard enhancements were also released this week. These include an undo and redo option, as well as ortho features that allows you to constrain lines to the vertical or horizontal directions. Activate the ortho feature by holding the shift key while drawing a shape or line within the whiteboard. Well, my take on this is that I guess they're trying to make it a little bit much closer to how we draft at the office by the typical sort of holding the shift in certain programs. In any case, I always encourage everyone who's going through that process, through the AIA process, to use the free tools available within NCARB. NCARB has plenty of tools. I've also done a video on monographs. I'll try to remember to leave a link down below for those of you who are still going through it. And it's a valuable free tool that NCARB puts out. The ICC, or the International Code Council Safety Inspection Guide draft is available. The International Code Council is working on Appendix C, Existing Building Safety Inspection Guide, to the 2021 International Property Maintenance Code, for the purpose of providing guidance and evaluation criteria for the regular inspection of structural safety, as well as the building envelope, electrical system, fire protection, mechanical, and plumbing systems. Once again, the link provided down below will actually take you to an actual PDF. PDF's got plenty of information, as you can see. Let's try to move it over. You'll have about, if you can see here on top, where you have about 36 pages. Here's the table of content, scope, building design loads, inspection records, and showing you quite a few figures. Let's see what those figures are here. Let's see, is it smart one? Nope. Yes it is. So we go to figure, not actual figures, huh? In any case, the information is here. There's, I guess, a form there you can fill out that will help you go through that process. Anyways, more information, more resources that's out there. And we are actually jumping into the September 10th Friday Facts email. Really quickly, your typical Florida fall hot topics. The cities are selling out quite soon, so if you want to go for in-person, make sure you follow the link provided. It'll take you to this particular website right here. You know the drill. $30 for food, refreshments, and yada yada. If you're in any one of these cities, particularly somewhere around Palm Beach, time is it's nearing pretty soon, and it's going to be here sooner than expected. Anyways, I won't make this version or this portion too long, as it's not needed, as it's just a reminder. Hot Topics is coming up. 5 have been appointed to Florida Historical Commission. 5 people, including Rick Gonzalez, AIA, were appointed to the Florida Historical Commission by Governor Ron DeSantis. Gonzalez is president of REG Architects. He previously served as chairman of the Florida Board of Architecture and Interior Design, and is president of the Florida Trust for Historic Preservation. The Florida Historic Commission was established in 2001 to enhance public participation in the preservation and protection of the state's historic archaeological sites and properties. It advises the Florida Division of Historical Resources in carrying out programs, duties, and responsibilities. 5 members of this commission also meet as Florida's National Register Review Board to review and vote on proposed nominations to the National Register of Historic Places. Gonzalez fills the legislative mandated spot for a licensed architect who has expertise in historic preservation and architectural history. Other members must be professional historians in American history, a professional architectural historian, an archaeologist specializing in prehistory, and an archaeologist specializing in the historic period. Other members appointed to the board are Michael Francis of St. Petersburg, a professor of history and the Hugh Family Chair of Florida Studies at the University of South Florida. Kathleen Kaufman of Coral Gables is a historic preservation officer for the city of Gainesville. Judith Benz of Pensacola is an archaeologist at the University of West Florida, where she is president emeritus of the anthropology program. And finally, Clifford Smith of Venice is a historical archaeologist and senior planner for the city of Sarasota. And here we have a couple of quick reminders of webinars coming up. One will be coming up in about 2 to 3 days, depending on when you're listening to this, as well as on September 23rd. One of them is going to be Pack Clad, which is a set on metal wall panels, and Eurowall, which is a webinar set on fenestration. In any case, links down below to each one of those. Hope you're able to take advantage of those. And here we go with another ABI, or Architectural Billing Index update. The firm revenue projected to grow. Although the torrid pace of billing growth seen earlier this year eased in July, architecture firms are still reporting very strong business conditions overall. The ABI score of 54.6 for the month indicates that the majority of firms are continuing to see their billings increase. Inquiries into new projects and the value of new design contracts remain extremely high as well, with both still near their all-time historic high points from earlier this year. The rate of growth that firms are reporting now is more typical for a post-recession recovery phase, while the exceptionally high numbers seen earlier this year were more of an aberration due to the precipitous nature of the decline in 2020 and the commensurately strong rebound in early 2021. Once you click on the link either within this email or the list of links down below, take you to the typical AIA website, and it's the AIA national website, where you see a description, and ultimately they'll also give you an actual PDF where you'll get to sort of dig into the numbers, and here they pull out a few sort of key images or pages from that PDF. So there's a quick sort of preview of it. You can see the graphics right there on a per sector basis. I'll pause there for a moment on a practice, and that's it for the quick review. Once again, if you're really interested in to get into the weeds, go ahead and get that PDF and go through it. And there is a need for a small firm state representative. This is an opportunity to apply to represent AIA Florida as part of AIA National's Small Firm Exchange, which is a network of state representatives to serve as liaisons, delivering small firm resources to state and local chapters and sharing small firm concerns with AIA National. This is a 1-year commitment, renewable for up to 5 years total. Every month, this position will require 4 to 6 hours of your time and participation in up to 2 1-hour calls. Applications will be accepted through the end of October. Those chosen will be notified in November and December. Positions begin in January. This is, I believe, a great opportunity for small firms to have their voices heard. Okay, it sort of answers the question, what is AIA doing for me? Well, this is a great opportunity for you to actually do something for it so that it answers the question for everyone else, right? So you put a bit of your time, 6 hours, require 4 to 6 hours of your time every month. So 4 to 6 hours every month doesn't seem like that much of a time to have a big impact and really help others really answer the question, what has AIA done for me? And it just adds to the current level of free resources that are available. In any case, it'll take you to this particular website where you get to fill out your information here, where pretty short survey, and ultimately it's just page 1 out of 1. Should be pretty quickly and easy to fill out. If you're considering, I encourage you to go ahead and apply. The AIA Film Challenge has been opened. As a reminder, this challenge is for 2021, of course, this year, and it's open for the People's Choice winner, which is an award that comes with $2,000 cash prize. You may watch the films, then vote for your favorites. You can vote up to once per hour, actually, so you can continuously vote as often as you can, whether they can, are able to, and or want to. So once you are able to get into that webpage and look at the actual films that are in here, you can see there's actually quite a few, and I'll quickly sort of just scroll all the way down to the bottom, because there's actually quite a few there. And there you have it. And here you can also already see the amount of views that it's got. This one, this Jewel in Appalachia, it's got 13,000 views already. Wow, that's way more than I thought any of them would have. In any case, it's here for you. Take some time to listen to it. If you have it, it can be entertaining. The Strategic Council, to give you a little bit of background here, was formed in 2015 and advances architecture profession by informing the board and other institute bodies about important professional issues, opportunities, and threats. Although it is not an AIA governing body, the council's work is vital to AIA's ability to serve the profession. The council approaches its tasks with an emphasis on outward and forward-focused vision. In this spirit, the council focuses on long-term goals and outcomes of AIA's work rather than the administrative or programmatic efforts that achieve those goals. A thought leadership to date. To ensure continued relevance of the Institute work, the council meets in assembly to deliberate and forms small groups to explore topics based on the Institute's strategic objectives. From that work, it develops recommendations for the board's consideration. Section 6.5 of the Institute bylaws defines in detail the council's mission, responsibility, and composition. In short, this is where you can actually apply for it. You can also see what the council has been working on since its inception. So let's say in 2020, it's currently busy at work with study areas that consider technology's impact on the practice. For example, looking beyond 2030, in 2017, it was working on the Architectural Equality Index, communication, advocacy, and policy in the new urban agenda, increasing public evaluation of architects and architecture, innovative business models, life cycles of architects, etc., etc., etc. If you look at what was done in 2015, that was the inaugural year where the Strategic Council formed 5 work groups based on awards, business models, innovation, culture, diversity, and relevance, amongst other things. But I won't bore you with the specifics. Just know that this resource is there. And of course, part of the reason why we're going into the Strategic Council, as you can see here, is that there's an opening for the at-large representative on 2022-2023 AIA Strategic Council. They're looking for up to 5 candidates that may be elected. So if you know anyone, whether they're a member or not, who is innovative, open-minded, and forward-thinking, and also has a strong communicator, and a connector, they also must embody a collaborative, partnering spirit, and encourage them to submit. The AIA Housing Awards are open for submission, and pretty much what it says. So no need to read sort of the description there. I'll just take you to the actual website of AIA, where I'll give you a little bit more information. Of course, the entrance eligibility must be a licensed U.S. or any owner of a structure or project. You must have been on a team project, so the architect submitting the entry does not have to be head of the team. All team, group, or firm projects must credit all who substantially contributed in any capacity, for example, landscape architects and construction firm. The projects that are available for this is new construction, renovations, and restorations are eligible. Unbilled projects are accepted for the community engaged design category, as well as projects. The projects must have been completed after January 1st, 2016. As far as the submission details, I'll sort of really quickly hit on some big ones. You have the 8 categories here, which are 1 and 2 family custom residence, 1 and 2 family production homes, multifamily housing, specialized housing, excellence in affordable housing, mixed-use community connection, community engaged design, and universal dwelling design. There are some other elements here about equity, resiliency, innovation, and the light, as well as, I'll just quickly mention here, the entry fees. It's $375 for members and $750 for non-members, with the exception of community engaged design category, where the fees will be waived. They go into the submission process here. They open on August 27th, so we're a couple of weeks in, and I believe, when did they close? Does it say here in particular? Oh, there you go. Closes October 21st. So there's still some time. We've got a month and change, I believe, in any case. If you're interested, go right ahead and, once again, follow the link. And to end the Friday Facts, the last couple of weeks, king tides are back in South Florida. They began this week ending in 9/10, making South Florida more prone to sunny day flooding, where streets are inundated by water without any rain. During king tides, daily high tides can rise by a foot or more, as per the NOAA. They are caused when the Earth's northern hemisphere is closest to the sun, and the sun and moon align to create gravitational pull. If you'd like to read a little bit more about this particular article, you can follow the link, but I presume that at this point, those living in South Florida are more than aware as to what this is. And for most of us in the industry, well, we're at least have heard of it. In any case, the article just sort of goes into it a little bit. Probably interview a few people. Yada yada. We know these things are going to continue. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. Well, thank you once again for taking time out of your day to listen to some hopefully valuable information. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.